Hey everyone, and welcome back. Have you ever looked at your stockroom and felt like it's just a black hole where things seem to vanish? Or maybe you're just kind of guessing what you actually have on hand? Well, if that sounds familiar, you are in the right place. Today, we're going to tame that inventory beast, and we're going to do it all inside QuickBooks Online. Let's jump in and see how it all works.
All right, we've got this broken down into 4 key parts. First, we're going to talk about the big challenge of managing inventory in the first place. Then, we'll look at the beautiful automatic flow QuickBooks creates for your stock. After that, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of real-world stuff like partial orders and adjustments. And to wrap it all up, we'll see how all this data tells the financial story of your business.
So, let's kick things off with a feeling that I bet a lot of you know really well. That chaos of trying to track what you've got versus what you've sold. You know, it's that constant juggle between spreadsheets, maybe a few notebooks, and just what you think is sitting on the shelf. And honestly, it can lead to some major headaches.
So I gotta ask you, is your inventory a reliable, valuable asset? Or is it kind of a complete mystery? Because the stakes here are actually pretty high. When your counts are wrong, you could lose a sale because you thought you had something you didn't, or you could have a bunch of cash tied up in products that just aren't selling. Either way, it's not great.
Now, this is the exact problem that QuickBooks Online, specifically the Plus and Advanced versions, is built to solve. It's designed to take that physical pile of stock and turn it into a living, breathing, real-time digital count. The system just automatically tracks every single item as it comes in and as it goes out. It's all about giving you clarity instead of chaos.
Okay, so how does it actually do that? Let's follow the journey of a single item through your books. We're going to trace its automatic path right from the moment you purchase it from a supplier to the second your customer buys it from you.
You know, the absolute heart of this whole system is one special account called the Inventory Asset account. The best way to think of it? It's literally the digital version of your physical stockroom shelf. It's just one number on your balance sheet, but it represents the total cost value of every single item you have in stock all ready to go.
And here is where the real magic happens. Every single time you make a sale, we're talking just one invoice or one sales receipt, QuickBooks, in the background, automatically updates 5 different accounts. It's this complex little accounting dance, and it happens instantly without you having to do a thing.
And here's the proof right here. Now, don't worry about trying to read all the tiny details on this screen. What you're looking at is the behind-the-scenes journal entry for a single sale. All these different lines, all these debits and credits, they were all created automatically. All you did was sell something. QuickBooks did all of this heavy lifting for you. So what were those 5 things that just happened in the background? Let's break it down real simple. First, pretty obviously, your inventory quantity goes down by 1. Second, the value of that item gets taken out of your inventory asset account. Third, that same value gets moved over to an expense account called cost of goods sold, or COGS. Fourth, your sales income account goes up by the price you sold it for. And finally, number 5, your accounts receivable goes up, which just means your customer now owes you money. Pretty amazing, right? All from one single click.
But of course, we all know business isn't always so neat and tidy. The real world can be a bit messy. Suppliers don't always get it right, items get damaged, and sometimes the counts are just plain off. So now, let's look at how QuickBooks helps you handle all these common, everyday imperfections.
Okay, here's a classic one. Let's say you order 100 of something, but the delivery truck shows up and they've only got 70 on board. So what do? I mean, you definitely don't want to pay for the full 100 yet, but you need a way to track what you got and what you're still waiting on.
QuickBooks makes this super simple. First, you create a purchase order for the full amount, all 100 units. Then, when those 70 show up, you turn that PO into a bill, but you just change the quantity on the bill to 70. The best part? This keeps the original purchase order open, and it clearly shows that you've received 70 and you're still waiting on 30. No more sticky notes on a monitor.
And it's not just shipping issues, right? Things just happen. Maybe an item gets damaged in the warehouse, maybe something goes missing, or maybe you do a physical count and realize your digital numbers are just a little bit off. For all that stuff, you need a way to manually adjust your stock levels.
And QuickBooks gives you 2 really easy ways to get this done. You can go up to that big plus new button and pick Inventory Quantity Adjustment, or you can just go straight to your products and services list, find the item you need to change, and adjust the quantity right there. Both paths take you to the exact same screen.
Now, this next feature is a total game changer, especially if you ever do a full physical stock take. It's the batch adjustment tool. Instead of adjusting items one by one, you can just go to your products list, put a check mark next to everything you need to change, and hit Adjust Quantity from the Batch Actions menu. It puts everything you selected onto a single screen, and believe me, it saves a massive amount of time.
Okay, so we've tracked our items coming in and going out, we've handled all the real-world messy stuff, and now we get to the payoff. Why do we bother with all this? It's because having accurate inventory data isn't just about counting boxes. It's about truly understanding the financial health and the performance of your business.
So QuickBooks has a few key reports just for this. The Valuation Summary, that's your 30,000-foot view of quantity and value. The Valuation Detail Report, that's for when you need to be a detective and see the entire transaction history for an item. And the Physical Inventory Worksheet, that is your absolute best friend on counting day. It's a printable list you can take with you to check against the shelves.
But this slide, this is where it all comes together on your most important financial statements. On your balance sheet, that inventory asset account we talked about earlier shows up as a current asset. It's literally the value of all the stuff you have sitting on your shelves. Then, on your profit and loss report, you see both sides of the story. The income you made from your sales, and right underneath, the cost of goods sold, which tells you exactly what it cost you to make those sales.
So if there's one thing to take away from all this, is that your inventory is constantly telling you a story. It's telling you what's a bestseller, what's collecting dust, where your cash is tied up, and how profitable each product really is. The real question isn't whether you can track it, it's whether you're listening to the powerful insights it's trying to give you.